alaikum and welcome back to Sisters Corner. With me today I have Tasneem Hassan, who's the Vice Chair of the Yorkshire Adabi Forum and is an amazing poet and writer. We've already heard one of her beautiful hams and now inshallah we're going to hear from Tasneem again. So welcome and thank you again for being with us.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. A very good conversation we are having. I would tell you a little bit about Naat. And Naat is a form of poetry praising our beloved Prophet Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And Hassan bin Sabit radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, he was the first one who started to write poetry in a format of Naat and praising in our Prophet's life. And it is, I feel that I'm very fortunate that I can write, can praise him in a way. And Seerah is a way, I think, if you write in a poetic way, it can encourage the people to learn, to understand. So a little bit about life and type of prophets and him. So this poetry, this Naat, I've written when I went for Umrah, and when I came back, it's just all those, you feel that you don't want to come back here, and your heart is still there. Absolutely. You're living here, but your heart is there. So it's just, I've just expressed those feelings in this Naat. Dare Nabi ke manazir nazar mein rehte hain. दरे नबी के मनाजिर नज़र में रहते हैं, जो लौट आए हैं कब अपने घर में रहते हैं, जो लौट आए हैं कब अपने घर में रहते हैं, और वहाँ की कैफियत वालेहाना यूँ समझो, परिंदे जैसे हवा के असर में रहते हैं, और मदीने वालों की दुनिया नबी की मस्जिद है, मदीने वालों की दुनिया नबी की मस्जिद है, और ऐसा लगता है सब एक घर में रहते हैं, और ऐसा लगता है सब एक घर में रहते हैं, और वहाँ की गलियों में जी चाहता है खो जाएं, वहाँ की गलियों में जी चाहता है खो जाएं, कदम उठाओ तो रास्ते सफ़र में रहते हैं, और करीब रोज़े अक़दस की जाली के तस्नीम, करीब रोज़े अक़दस की जाली के तस्नीम, चराग़ नूर के जलते नज़र में रहते हैं, दरे नबी के मनाज़िर नज़र में रहते हैं, जो लौट आए हैं कब अपने घर में रहते हैं. It's just a way to express how I felt while I was there. And if you see the people there from different race, colors, and they all there gather just to perform at Kaaba to perform Umrah, and then just
I found that quite interesting, the description you were giving, that it feels like everyone lives in one home.
That's the thing. It's just
I think it's really powerful, and I know
you
when I went
feel that you're in a trance over there and everything. It's hard to explain those feelings. But
I know, but they did evoke it for me, because I went to Umrah and it's been quite a while, and I remember saying to my husband at the time, actually, can't we just stay here? Forget life, forget work, forget worries over there, can't we just stay here? And particularly, I mean, obviously in both places it's amazing, but in Medina it was just like the peace,
I would say,
and it was just I remember when I was leaving I was crying, but then I was also a bit like torn apart, because I was going to Makkah Sharif again, and I was like, well, no, I shouldn't be crying, but then I was sad because I was leaving there, and it was and it's really
feelings. You're right.
It was really powerful. Now, one thing I wanted to explore with you, Tasneem, is when I was growing up, we didn't really, when I was went to mosque, we had sort of ghazals a little bit, talking about different elements of faith. But, there seems to be a whole industry around sort of nasheeds and naats at the moment. Some to music, some without music, mostly by men, but more of I hear a bit more from women now as well. What happened? Where's that all come from, do you think?
The thing is, music generally, young people or people like me, we are very attracted to music and things. And this is nasheed, like it's just a way to replace that music, which is, I think,
Not always
ideal and, you know, to your ear and obviously to your thought. So I think that's the way. So, and why not, if we are listening about something which is good, and they cover good topics, and you know, or youngster, good things. So if you're teaching something good, why not? So I think there's no harm in it. And in terms of Naat, I would like to say, even what I will write, I make sure there's no shirk, or I'm not, because every, like Allah has obviously, you know, praise. So we can certain sifat can be associated to Allah only, and certain to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam only. So it's just to keep that you know, respect, and don't mix those you know,
so you have to be very careful
what you
of
writing,
the qualities that you're writing about,
and what you're praising, and then you write in Naat. So that's something which, you know, whoever is writing or reading Naat, they should be aware of it.
Yeah.
So
I personally think you're absolutely right, because if you don't have these alternatives, then you are listening to other stuff that music, you know, again, you know, with music, some people are like, it's absolutely wrong, some are, you know, there's a middle way, and some are, you know, if it's a replacement and it's a good replacement, then why not? Because otherwise, with songs, you get a refrain, you know, the chorus sticks in your head, and if that chorus can be replaced with you know, one about the qualities of Allah and the Prophet, then why not?
Yeah, and the thing is, with the poetry, if you read something, it wouldn't register to your mind as such. If something written in a poetic way, it will register more, and you know, it will go in your memory more. So I think that's and like I said, in those days, and Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam day, poetry was very big, and there were great poets among Arabs that time. So it's a very strong mean of communication, and very strong. And like you said, if you're listening to poetry, it would you know, register more to your mind. So it's a good way to. I remember when I was at college and learning something like autonomy or something, we just make a little poetry way to just to learn things, memorize
sort of mnemonic devices.
So that's something I think it's a good way.
Okay. So thank you very much. And you know, your previous one was subhanallah, it was beautiful. Could we listen to something else?
Yeah, I'll read this Naat first, and then after that I'll a ghazal, and I hope people like it. This is again a few couplets from my Naat. बहरे तस्की है ज़िक्रो बयां आपका, बहरे तस्की है ज़िक्रो बयां आपका, मौज तर मौज फैज़ ज़मां आपका, अब्रे रहमत बरसता रहेगा वहाँ, अब्रे रहमत बरसता रहेगा वहाँ, ज़िक्र होता रहेगा जहाँ आपका, ज़िक्र होता रहेगा जहाँ आपका, और ता क़यामत दुरूदों के महकेंगे फूल, ता क़यामत दुरूदों के महकेंगे फूल, बेनियाज़े ख़िज़ां गुलसितां आपका, और आप सा कोई आया ना आएगा अब, आप सा कोई आया न आएगा अब, कोई सानी हुआ है कहाँ आपका, कोई सानी हुआ है कहाँ आपका, और मेरी हस्ती हो कुर्बां हुजूर आप पर, मेरी हस्ती हो कुर्बां हुजूर आप पर, मेरा सब कुछ मेरे मेहरबां आपका, और ज़िंदगी पर सुरूरे अबद छा गया, ज़िंदगी पर सुरूरे अबद छा गया, दहने तस्नीम मधा ख्वां आपका, दहने तस्नीम मदहा हुआ आपका, बहरे तस्की है ज़िक्र बयां आपका, मौज दर मौज फैज़ रवां आपका. So this is Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam naat. This is something I read this ghazal. It's written in a very simple format.
Before we go on to the next one, just what was the inspiration for the one that you've just finished reading? You know, what particular qualities did you want to try and highlight?
Yeah, again, like it's mauj dar mauj faiz rawan aapka. I think learning from Seerah is there. It's for everybody and for the life, and we're just getting in from, you know, it's been centuries, and this is the and again it's just the expressing the way I feel about abri rahmat barasta rahega wahan zikr hota rahega jahan aapka. We will get blessing by reading about Prophet Durood, remembering him, Durood you read, and it's just so much love from all the Muslims all over the world, not just Muslim, by non-Muslims as well. And कोई सानी हुआ है कहाँ आपका. There's no other person in the world like him and bearing his qualities. It's just the just way of
and last week we had a guest on and we were talking quite a bit about raising children and families and how as Muslims we should be in society, and one of the questions I posed to her was how do we, you know, run family affairs in a more kinder, compassionate way, and how do we raise children to be kinder and compassionate? And her answer was, oh, Amriyo, it's just we follow the Sunnah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah,
we need
Sunnah.
to.
I think there's every answer. The Quran, if, you know, there's all the aspects of life cover in Quran. The way you live your life, even small things, and then a hadith, and then Sunnah, Prophet Sunnah, and you just follow these, and then I think it covers the whole life basically. So
and I think
to
that's
everything.
Yeah. And I sorry, I feel I interrupted you there, but I think that's why finding different ways that people can engage and learn about the Sunnah, you know, in this day and age, people spend a lot of time attached to their phones, earphones in, you know, and actually, you know, sitting and reading a book is becoming almost.
But the good thing is there's Kindle, the different apps you can. You know, your phone, Quran, speeches, YouTube, you name it. There's so many ways nowadays. I think in older days you have to find a book and search for it, but now you don't have to. Your fingertip, the whole world is there, and you can read or listen. If you can't read, you can listen. So there are ways, and I think.
And I suppose that's the bit that I was getting to actually, is where in the past people may have said, oh, well, music isn't permissible, it isn't this, it isn't that. Actually, if there is some light rhythm in the background, but ultimately it's helping people engage with the lessons from the Prophet's life, reminding us about our duties to each other, to Allah and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as well as to society, can't be a bad thing, can it really? You know, and I suppose that's where I was going with that. But anyway, I think it'd be really nice to hear your next piece, if that's okay.
Yes, I was thinking something which is not very difficult to understand. So few couplets from my poetry. अच्छी सूरत वाले अच्छे लगते हैं, अच्छी सूरत वाले अच्छे लगते हैं, सहने दिल में फूल महकने लगते हैं, सहने दिल में फूल महकने लगते हैं, जो डूबेगा वही किनारा पाएगा, जो डूबेगा वही किनारा पाएगा, यूं तो दरिया सबको गहरे लगते हैं, और जो दिल में होता है वो कह देते हैं, जो दिल में होता है वो कह देते हैं, नन्हे बच्चे कितने सच्चे लगते हैं, नन्हे बच्चे कितने सच्चे लगते हैं। और तूफानों से पक्की चाहत जीत गई, तूफानों से पक्की चाहत जीत गई, इस बाजी में घड़े भी कच्चे लगते हैं। और शहर में इतने धोखे दिल ने खाए हैं, शहर में इतने धोखे दिल ने खाए हैं, सारे चेहरे एक ही जैसे लगते हैं, सारे चेहरे एक ही जैसे लगते हैं। और आखिरी शेर मक्ता के, अहद वफ़ा तस्नीम पुरानी जिन्स हुआ, अहद वफ़ा तस्नीम पुरानी जिन्स हुआ, दाम इसके इस दौर में सस्ते लगते हैं, अच्छी सूरत वाले अच्छे लगते हैं, सहने दिल में फूल महकने लगते हैं।
That was beautiful. Yeah. And you read it in such a engaging way. And as I said earlier, I don't understand all of everything that you've said, but I certainly will be talking to you about it in more detail after we finish.
I think this is like you said, music, the poetry, if you read in a way that, in a poetic way, then you don't need music background. No. It's just, and that it retains the beauty of the poetry if you read in the way that is engaging. So I think that helps.
Yeah, and different forms. Like we talked about earlier, in the modern world, we've got young people who are very much into sort of hip hop and rapping, and actually, there's a few groups who use that art form to praise, Allah and the Prophet, and to talk about issues that are really real to the Muslim world at the moment. I know for me, one of my preoccupations when I write sometimes is around identity. And it certainly was when I was younger. It was about, well, who am I? What and how? Where do I fit into the world? I was born and raised here, but my parents are from Bangladesh. I'm Muslim. I'm in Britain. How does that work? And a lot of that, and even now, in fact, even sort of in my work, interfaith issues are really important and quite dear to me. It's the example from the Prophet's time was, it was very possible for people from all different backgrounds to live together and to practice their own faith and to have their own identity and to work together. And somewhere it feels like some sections we've lost that a little bit.
I think we can, here in this society, we can still be part of society and can retain our own identity. And that's the beauty of a diverse and multicultural society we are living in. And here, I think we are fortunate we can practice our deen freely. It's just, I think, how we deal with the issues. But I think here in this country, I feel we have the freedom of practicing our religion. And I think this children need to understand to these about their own identity here. I can't relate to those obviously feeling, because I was brought up in a different environment. But I have children myself, and it's just that from the beginning you just make them realize about their own identity, and that gives them confidence too. So
yeah. How old are your children, if you don't mind me asking?
My children, my son is 17,
Mashallah.
And my daughter recently completed her degree. She's 21.
Oh, mashallah. And what does she read at university?
Primary education.
Oh, fabulous. We need some very good quality teachers.
Yes, why not? And it's a very noble profession. Teaching, it's a very good profession.
Excellent. So I know you've written these poems yourself. Do you also perform, other people's writings, or?
Not in mushairas or poetry events, but I love reading poetry, and on one occasion I've performed Faiz Ahmad Faiz, reading his poetry. I really like Faiz Ahmad Faiz. I think from a young age I've been reading his books. And again, Faiz's poetry is, I think, beyond time. It just covers all aspects of life.
It's timeless.
Yeah, I would say it.
And are there any English translations that I could get into?
Yeah. Faiz Ahmad Faiz, there's a book with all, majority of his poetry translated. And it's accessible, and we can.
So, you work, you have a full-time job.
Yes, I'm pediatric occupational therapist, health profession, so it's not very.
So quite demanding. You've got
very demanding,
a couple of children and a family life.
Yes.
And you're the vice chair of the Yorkshire Derby Forum. So how much of your time does that take?
Like I said, I work full time. Saturdays I'm doing the Tafsir al-Quran course, and weekends then, other social activities, and I attend those regularly. And then events organized by Yorkshire Derby Forum. We had one event on Sunday, so it's just the managing time. And I like to keep busy myself, so somehow I'm managing.
So what's next for you? We talked that you don't have your own anthology of poetry yet. Is that something you might explore?
This is on my list, things to do list. Definitely. I have written quite a lot, ghazals and things. I just want to write more, and nazms, which is another form of poetry. So I think I'm working on it, and then hopefully I'll get it published soon.
So if anybody wants to hear more from you or from the Yorkshire Derby Forum, where can they go for further information?
We have a Facebook page set up, Yorkshire Derby Forum, search, and you will find us. And we have website. Apart from that, we have regular events, and as I said,
one on the 11th, I think.
11th. There's one on 11th, and we are part of a Bradford Literature Festival, our Musharas, and we regularly attend Ilkley Literature Festival. I've been going for more than 10 years. So we are part of different.
And Bradford at the moment has an absolute. It's an amazing art scene, spoken, written, performance.
It's been really, this literature festival been really successful, and loads of events, books for children, they cater for all age group, different backgrounds. I think it was wonderful and very well received and very well attended, and our events are usually very well attended. So,
super. So, all I can say, Tasneem, is congratulations on your amazing poetry. It's inspired me to go away and learn a little bit more of the Urdu language. I do have friends who are very fluent. If viewers are interested, please go ahead and look on the Facebook page for the Yorkshire Derby Forum. And if you are writing or dabbling, do take Tasneem's advice. And inshallah, we'll see you next time. Assalamu alaikum.